Good evening, you mad bunch of Toon reviewers. Hope you are well if you're listening live or watching live on YouTube, if not later on the podcast. Good evening and welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur preview. A massive game, it has to be said, for Newcastle United in their bid for, well, Champions League. I think if we win this game on Sunday, we are really, really in the driving seat. No one can deny that. Some tough games coming up, but of course, that extra motivation to reach the Champions League will, of course, be there. I'm not sure where Billy is tonight, guys. I think he's fallen asleep on his sofa. With another early shift, I think he's passed out on his sofa. So we're not sure where he is. Maybe he'll realise and sort of jump on once he wakes up. However, let's have a look and see who's in the chat tonight. But before we start, the usual. If you do enjoy the show, please do hit that like button for us. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, help us push that towards 19,000. I think we're about 304 away from 19,000. So please do subscribe if you're new. It is completely free to do so. And, of course, hit that notification bell as well, which will let you know when we go live or upload a video. And if you want to donate to the channel, you are most welcome to by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. That will take you through to a payment method, and it also guarantees that you get your comment read out straight away. Jack, you looking forward to this game?
I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know why, but I always like playing Tottenham for some reason because I just I don't like the clubs. I don't like the club. I just don't like anything really about Tottenham at all. I just love to beat them. He swiped too far again. Should I keep talking? I'll keep talking.
I'm still here. I just had to knock the camera off a second.
Yeah. Love to beat Tottenham. Don't like anything about them. And this game, we've got pretty much a definite chance of beating them. So I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah.
Alex, it's a big game, isn't it? Because we need to beat Tottenham. We need to keep this momentum going after the defeat last week. It's important that we get back on the horse, so to speak, and play like we did against Manchester United last time out at St James's Park. Really get into Tottenham straight away.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a better team. We've got a better first 11. On their day, Harry Kane's a better striker than any of ours. And on their day, people like Heung-min Son is a better winger than any of ours. But the starting 11, on the whole, when functioning as we can, I think we've got a better starting 11. They have got a decent squad, but the defence as a whole is a little bit strange. Their style, their setup, their transitions, there's a lot not quite right about Tottenham. Yeah. But you've got to give them credit. There's been a lot of problems this season with a managerial sacking, and they're still well within the hunt for Champions League. So, there's no hiding the fact that a poor season for Tottenham still has them fighting for Champions League. And that's because they've got some great players and they are a decent side. So we've got to respect them, but I do think we've got a better 11 than them. And if we play our game, especially at home, we prove that when we beat them in the reverse fixture, we should be fine. And can I just comment on what Jack said as well? I kind of am going that way as well about, I never used to dislike Tottenham. In fact, I used to like them because I hated sort of how the other parts of, well, not they are, obviously they're part of the Big Six, how the other five treated them. They were always bullied a little bit. And I kind of felt a bit sorry for them. And then Pochettino came around and they played really nice football. And you wanted to help. You wanted them to get one up on the other five of the Big Six. But now that their attitude's changing a little bit because obviously we're a bit of a threat. And obviously I'm not enjoying the fact that Harry Kane keeps getting away with 3 or 4 red card tackles a season. It's getting really bad now. He's going to end somebody's career. So I'm not enjoying them as much as I used to. I agree with Jack. It's going that way at the moment.
Harry Kane has got away with this for quite a while. The backing into central defenders and not jumping for the ball could cause serious injury.
I mean, that's a
I haven't
big
seen
no-no
that
in
as
rugby,
much this season.
So
Yeah,
if
I haven't
like
seen
that
it as much
rugby,
this season, to be fair. But
I've seen a
tackling
fair
wise,
few of them.
yeah, tackling wise, he's not great. King Hoddle, who is a good friend of the channel, he says, our interim is a Poundland Conte. Our midfield two without Bentancur is functional with zero creativity. And our defence, Loris included, is nervous and error-prone. You'll need an inquiry if you don't win. So it's fair to say that King Hoddle is not looking forward to his team playing at St James's Park on Sunday. Hey, he watches them every week, mate. He's at the end of the day, look, Tottenham have done well to stay where they are, given, like you said, that it's been completely turned upside down on numerous occasions this season, and they're still up there. So that's got to say
53 points.
Spike, good evening to you. Pedro says, good evening, everyone. Nice to be back watching the fantastic channel and hosts, even you, Paul. Come on, the boys. Thank you, as usual, Pedro, for your lovely words. John, good evening. Ian, evening. Geordie, lad. Craig says, good evening. As this seems to be the protocol to follow, I'd never overuse statement, but this really does feel like the game that will make our season. 3 points will be a huge step to Champions League football. Jack, if we were to lose the game, where do you think that sort of leaves us for the rest of the season, given that we've got to go to Goodison on Thursday, of course?
I mean, with the likes of Tottenham not doing very well, confidence should be high with the squad. Thinking, right, I'm not going to say this is going to be an easy 3 points because it's not. No one's a walkover in the Premier League, but you'd want to face Tottenham at this time of the season because they're not performing well. Their away record's not good enough, and we should be picking up 3 points from Tottenham. And if we do lose this game, confidence will be down, heads will be going down, and going to Goodison, that is not an easy place to go to, as we explained Monday night. Not an easy place to go to at all. So we definitely need to pick up these 3 points, get confidence back on board. Heads should be high after that game, and put a good performance in Everton. So these 3 points are vital, not just for the league, but for the confidence for all the players. So it's a vital game.
Yep. Jordan saying there the Brighton game's been moved to Thursday, the 18th of May. So there you go. Yeah. Interesting. Jason, good evening to you. Jordan, to Sevilla. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Jordy B says, what has happened about our game that was postponed? When is it going to be played? Well, there you go. You've just heard Jordy B. It's the 18th of May, matey. So we can get that one look forward to as well, which by the way, is not going to be an easy game given how Brighton are playing right now. Cushy says, let's not forget it's a big game for them too, and they are behind us. Indeed. Good evening to Barbara. Colin says, the audio broke on my laptop again, so pinch the wife's. Best way, matey. Best way, as long as you get to hear us. Toon Gamers says, hope we have a balanced team for the Spurs game, and we need to start Matt Targett. Well, is Matt Targett in our lineups? You will find out a bit later on. Irani Granny says, Billy has defected to John Sinclair TV. I have no idea where he's gone. I presume he's asleep. Keith, good evening to you. Ashley 80s. Davey, good evening, matey. He says, everybody watching needs to hit that like button. It's so important, and it's free. It certainly is. Alex says, Brighton game confirmed. Yeah, Thursday the 18th. Leicester confirmed for Monday the 22nd, both on Sky. Great, a Monday night kickoff. Paul says, looking forward to the game on Sunday. Spurs have been appalling all season. So I'm looking forward to a response from the players, which I think we'll see. The problem is, Alex, Heung-min Son just seems to be coming back into a little bit of form right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't subscribe to this that they've been awful all season. They're 3 points behind us. And we've had an absolute storm of a season. I understand that they're not playing attractive football, but it's about points on the board, isn't it? So Harry Kane's on 23 goals. Our top goal scorer is on 11. So I'm not buying that. That's nonsense. I understand they played very boring football on many occasions this season, but that's a moot point. It's not all about pretty football. That's not how people win things necessarily. And I kind of went off track there. What was the original question?
I can't actually remember now, so we'll shift on.
Sorry, it was more about, yeah. I just thought I'd touch on that because
there's a lot of people actually saying in the chat, though, Alex, that,
yeah.
There's a lot of people saying in the chat that they believe that Isak, they take Isak over Kane at the minute, which is interesting.
Well, based on what he looks like he could be, and he's 23. It's an interesting shout. I mean, it's a hot take, but it's a hot take that I would subscribe to. But it's us kind of banking on the fact that we really believe in our player.
Yeah.
You know, we watch him every week. I do think Isak could be at that level. I think he looks like a striker who could be banging in 20 plus a season regularly, who could be performing well in the Champions League. He looks that good.
He's got to fill that potential, hasn't he? Yeah.
So maybe. And the fact he's 23.
You look at the King Hoddles there with the list of injuries. I mean, they've got Davies, Sessegnon, Bentancur, Basuma, Emerson, and maybe Longley as well. So they do have a huge injury list going into the game.
You've got Moira's suspended. Yeah, Basuma, Sessegnon, Bentancur, Royale, Longley, Davies. So that's a lot.
I don't think they're too fussed about Royale not being available, though. I don't hate Newcastle at all, says King Hoddle. Can't see why some of you hate us, to be honest. I don't hate Tottenham. I don't hate them. I don't have a problem.
I don't hate them either, but we did just explain kind of why. It's. I used to love them when they were the outside shot, and I thought they were a really attractive team under Pochettino, but
they were.
I just don't like. To be fair, it's more Kane that I don't like. I think Kane brings it down. Yeah,
it's interesting. Is he here? Is he there? Hang on a minute. Let me just get.
Yeah, he is.
Good morning, Mr. Trey.
Good afternoon.
Where on earth have you been? Asleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too much for me. This is too much. I can't do morning shit. Can't do it.
Yeah, the mornings are killers. The killers. Paul Tully says Spurs as a fan base have become terrible. Not all of them like most clubs, but many of them are so far up you know where. I haven't witnessed that, to be honest. If I have witnessed it, I would say it, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it from fans.
No, not at all. But everyone's got their opinions of fans. KB, good evening. Mary says, will this be a VAR decision maker or break a game for Newcastle? Well, with Mr. Coote in charge, who the hell knows? Is my answer to that.
Is it him? Seriously?
Yes, it is. Chipper says, I just want to wish me mum a 60th happy birthday. Love you lots. Happy birthday, Mother Chippers. Hopefully the next present that you buy your son will be a trip to Amsterdam, which he needs. A child in Aberdeen sneezes and baby Kane falls down and grabs his ankle. That's what I don't like. I don't like what he did at Everton. I certainly don't like that. He got away with a couple there, and he got away with some against Bournemouth as well, and of course Brighton. So yeah. Ashley, he says someone will get annoyed at Kane one day, then he will need a walking cane to be able to walk. I mean, we remember the tackle on what was his face, man, who played for us. Come on, guys. The tackle he made on the French centre-back. What was his name again?
French
the one that plays in Spain. What's his name?
Lejeune, man. Lejeune.
Yeah. Florian Lejeune.
I mean, Billy, that was a horrendous tackle at St. James's, wasn't it?
Yeah, scissor tackle, got completely away with it, didn't he? I think the season before, John Joe shoved in the same kind of tackle, got a red card for it against Spurs. Exactly the same tackle. Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Jack? What do you think of Kane at the minute?
Oh, he's just a bit of a baby, isn't he? He can score goals, fair enough, but the way he does things, he's supposed to be the England captain. Like you're supposed to be the leader of your country. Like to be going down like that, like a little baby, is absolutely ridiculous. It's just it just gets on my nerves. It really does, and no doubt he's going to do against us. And I hope something happens with with the Gordon incident where a Newcastle player goes up to him and tells him what they think of him. If it's not. I just want someone to tell him that you're a baby. Get on with it. You're the England captain. You're supposed to be a role model to all these young footballers, and you dive around like a bloody baby on the pitch. God, I hate it. I like him as a footballer, not the way he acts on the pitch.
Listen, the guy knows where the goal is. He's a clinical striker, but you wouldn't have found Alan Shearer cheating like Kane does, and that's where people comparing them and things like that. I'm not having any of that at the minute, quite honestly. Alan Shearer did not go rolling around the floor, pretend he's been hit in the face, etc. It's just wrong. Apparently, it was a Harry Maguire total howler that led to Sevilla's goal.
To be fair, he had about 3 players around him. He just tried to pass it. He's ridiculous.
Well, nothing changes, really, does it? Nothing changes. Steve says, be fair, De Gea sold Maguire right down the river. I don't care. Jimmy, good evening, buddy. Tottenham. Jimmy with his usual feelings. Porsey Street says, and let's not forget, lads, where Spurs are. This is a 6-pointer. Jordy B says, thank you, Paul, and the crew for the info on the rearranged game. Well, that's what the community's for. They all chip in. Julie J says, if you think £1 Hag is an arrogant twonk, hit the like button. There you go. So if you don't hit the like button, you love Eric Ten Hag. You've got to hit the button now. You've got to hit the button. Paul Geordie says, as long as Hottingham Totspur don't behave like Aston Villa sniper victims, we should do well. Not taking away our poor performance, but all their near-death experiences did slow our game. Dear me. That's a good point. It is. Abscess Spurs are having a typical Spurs season. Not sure why people are saying they have been appalling. I mean, Billy, what's your view? Because, they have had some poor results. There's no doubt about that. But they are still up there, aren't they?
Well, they're the 5th in the table, aren't they? They can't be doing that bad. It's what Spurs you get. I mean, you got the Spurs who are the abjects, or you got the Spurs who are superb. You don't get anything in between, do you? They've got the players with the technical ability to beat anybody. They've also got players that sometimes go missing when the trenches is needed. Yeah, it's whatever Spurs turns up. They've got some superb players, but I think they've missed the lad in midfield, Benton Kerr. I think they've definitely missed him.
Yeah. There's been a few. King Hoddle, who comes on the channel, he's been saying about missing him. I think he's a tremendous player, and I wouldn't mind us actually trying to sign him in the summer. I think he's a brilliant footballer.
I agree.
I mean, this game, Alex, Spurs, they can be very iffy defensively. I'm not sold on Hugo Lloris, if I'm openly honest with you. I think his time has been and gone. I think he puts his defence sometimes up the spout because you can clearly see the confusion going on there. So we will get opportunities on Sunday, won't we?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, they're conceding 1.5 goals per match, which is 14th in the league, which is very low down considering where they are in the table. 50.5% possession. They are, to a point, happy to play on the counter-attack to absorb pressure. They've got that back 3, back 5, whatever we're going to call it. But they do have some, you've got to be careful. Wing backs are tidy. People like Perisic has been used to playing as a winger for the majority of his career around Europe at a very high level. So transitional moments are dangerous with players like Kulusevski, Son, Perisic, all pouncing on us if they get in the right, the right movement. So we've really got to be careful. But yeah, defense-wise, we've just got to make sure we're finding the spaces. We're being technically proficient. We're moving the ball quickly. We're lively. We're finding the right passes, and we're switched on. Because otherwise, within a couple of seconds, Spurs are going to have just retreated back into that mid block, and they're just going to completely just throttle the pitch. There's not going to be any space, and we've just got to make sure we're really. I'm not want to say clinical. I don't mean finishing. Well, that as well, but clinical with opening them up with a few passing movements. We need some of these little Bruno dinks over the top to be accurate. We need people on the same page. There were so many times against Villa where somebody made a run for a 1-2 and they weren't on the same page and the ball just went somewhere else. We need people to be on the same page against Spurs. We need to exploit space because otherwise, after 3 or 4 passes too many, chances are gone. They're just going to sit in the block. So unless we can do the impossible, and that is get people like Burn and Botman actually scoring from set pieces, and if we can't, we need to be competent at breaking them down. So
Dave says Spurs tried to block our takeover. Well, it was Daniel Levy. Yes, it was Spurs, but it was Levy himself. Absolute twat that he is. Rachel says, nice to see you could make it, Billy.
You're welcome.
Paul Finnegan says, how's Paul and Alex? The only two channels I will watch are yourselves and Adam. But watching Jack's Toon last night looks well put together and presented. Well, he is the apprentice. And he's doing good stuff on that channel. Yes. Paul says we literally had Spurs in the Villa Live match chat boasting all sorts before they lost to Bournemouth. Yeah, there was a few of them kind of sticking the knife in, but they didn't last long, did it? Steve says I'm with Alex. Can't stand Kane or Levy, but other than that, they're fine. King Hoddle says they all feign injury and cheat. No club is immune. Absolutely. I mean, look, we've got our own. How many times have we seen Miggy and Maxi rolling around like they've been? Bruno himself a couple of times as well. But I think, when you talk about what Harry Kane did, I mean, it's embarrassing, isn't it, really? I mean, the stunt he pulled at Everton, it was embarrassing. And you just shouldn't be doing that. You really, really shouldn't. It's he's England, as Jack said before, he's England captain as well. And, these players should be setting an example instead of rolling around as if they've been shot like that. It was wrong in every way. Pedro says, welcome to the channel, Billy. We thought you had a female companion with you tonight. Well, that's what Paul said. Okay, he didn't. Lol. No, I bloody didn't. New member alert, Patrick McKenna. Thank you for your new membership. Welcome to the members club. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much, Patrick. Stiff Gator says Lejeune got a good reception when we had the Vallecano friendly last December, and rightly so. I don't think Lejeune did anything wrong at Newcastle. I quite liked him actually. I thought it was
that brace against Everton. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
God, yeah. I mean, that was unbelievable. The game was gone. The game was gone.
Kick.
Andrew says, I like Spurs now that Dele Alli is gone. Interesting on Dele Alli, comments from Sean Dyche today saying that he's actually legitimately injured at the moment. But what a waste of a career, Billy.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Just think, 2018, he was a mainstay of the England side in the World Cup in Russia. 5 years later, we can't get a game for a Turkish side. It's ridiculous. Gone downhill so far. And the lad had so much talent also. We could have signed him. We almost did.
Yeah, we nearly did. We nearly did. That goal at Crystal Palace, I think, a few years back was.
Who are we on about, Dele Alli?
Yeah.
I've got a few people that know him from around here because obviously I'm quite close to Milton Keynes. There's a lot of families that know him or his friends or people grew up with him, and I've not heard a good thing about it. Not a single thing. It's all negative.
Strange. King Hoddle says Kane is a clever footballer. If he played for you, you'd love him. That's where I'm going to disagree with you, King Hoddle, because I wouldn't love him if he went down like that, embarrassingly, like he'd been
Joe
punched
Linton
in the
did
face.
it, and we didn't like it.
He got ridiculed for that, and he hasn't done it again since. It's not good to see on the pitch. Yeah, we'd love him for his goals, no doubt about that. Of course we would. However, I don't like, I've had goes at Miggy and Maxi for rolling around, just telling them to get up and get on with the game. But when you feign injury like that, it's and his tackling is, well, I mean, it's late, it's clumsy, but it's dangerous, Jack.
It is, and like Alex said, he's going to end a career one day. It's really, really bad. And it's like he's going into the tackles with no thought process about what he's going to do and what's going to happen. I mean, that Robertson one, he goes in and he just nearly takes his leg off. It's ridiculous. He needs to think before he goes in for a tackle. And he just winds me up when he does that because he just does not think. And one day he's going to catch someone really, really bad and he's going to end a career. And that is going to stay with him for the rest of his career. And it's just awful.
Well, King Hoddle thinks he's the best ambassador in the game. Great, dedicated pro and family man.
Well, he's a Tottenham fan. He didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but you can be a family man and a dedicated pro, but he's a cheat.
I'm sure he's a dedicated pro. You know, when he tried to force that move away in the summer and went and did an interview whilst playing golf on Sky Sports, it was all a bit funny. Funny things in parts of the... I mean, to be fair, I think he's been lied to quite a lot by the club and by his previous management. I don't think it's his fault. I think he keeps getting managers through every cycle that say, right, let me take you under your wing. We'll win a bunch of trophies. He had it with Mourinho. You know, there were Pochettino, Mourinho, Conte. I think he's probably thought on several occasions, right, this is it. We're going to kick on now. And it's just never happened. But on the flip side, he does air a lot of dirty laundry out in public.
Yeah. Pedro says, I know Kane does score goals, but personally I don't like him and never want to see him in a black and white shirt unless he's sitting in the Milburn stand cheering on Bruno. Look, somebody made a comment before there as well about saying they would take Son over Kane. I'm one of those people. I've said that for a long time. I think Son offers much more. Yes, Kane gets the goals because he's in positions to do so, and he gets a lot of penalties, let's be honest. But look, Kane is getting the reputation now. You know, whether you like this King Hoddle or not, he is getting the reputation for being a cheat. You know, and we've seen him with awful tackles lately, really bad tackles. We've seen him go down when there's nothing the matter with him. I think it was the Brighton game where he got a tackle. I'm not sure where it hit him, but he went round, rolling around, holding his ankle. There was nothing to do with his ankle. And of course, you know, because he's getting this kind of reputation now, Billy, it's taken away from his goal scoring. With other fans, that is.
Yeah, people are definitely underrating him because of the way he acts on the pitch, no doubt about it. He's mollycoddled by officials, isn't he? Let's be honest. We've mentioned the tackle on Lejeune. There was one on Robertson last season that it was a red card all day long. Every day of the week it was a sending off. Don't think he even got yellow carded for it. He should have been sent off with the clash with Doucouré the other week. Gets away with it week in, week out. He's a fantastic goal scorer. Yeah, but he's slow. He's not very mobile. He's not my kind of
he does like to have plenty chats with the referee as well, which is something that I don't like him doing.
John McGinn did last week, let's be honest. John McGinn had to fish out that game last week.
He did. King Hoddle says, listen, boys, nobody is perfect. Your boys like to manage the game in the last 15 minutes when you are leading. That's not a good argument, King Hoddle, because every football team in the land does that if they're winning in the last 15 minutes. You can't tell me that Tottenham or any other team for that matter is winning in the last 15 minutes and they get a goal kick and the goalkeeper runs to take the goal kick dead quickly. Are you telling me that they do that? No.
It's called seeing the game out, and it's called tactics as well.
Of course it is. Of course
I'd rather that than having referees manage the game for them.
Exactly. You've said that because you've had the media narrative of that. We've had a lot of media narrative of us doing that being in a negative light, whereas everybody else, it either gets ignored or it gets called game management. Whereas with us, there's been a lot. Because of that one Arsenal game, it's been done to death by the media for content, essentially, when it's a nonsense narrative.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, would I rather Tottenham were above Manchester United, Man City, those types? Yes, I would, because it's a different team up there. But you know, we have to say how we feel. Andrew says, "Good evening, Toon Review family. You're looking well, Paul. Well, thank you. Keep it up and don't push yourself. No. Jack, we've got cover now in my young apprentice at the bottom there. I felt like a line out of Star Wars there. King Hoddle says, Lloris has finished Paul 100%, and his distribution with his feet is the worst in the league. Well, I'll tell you what, Nick Pope needs to get better with his feet because he hasn't been good lately with his feet.
I'd say Lloris, De Gea, and probably Pope, probably one of the three worst in the league.
Yeah. I mean, Edison for me is the number one with his feet. I mean, that guy somehow stays as cool as a cucumber when it comes to just sort of holding onto the ball when he's got players rapidly descending on him, and then he just clips it out of the wings. It's annoying at times as an opposition fan watching that, thinking, "Wow, look how that goalkeeper can play it out." But you know, he is prone to a mistake as well, I guess. Norvik says it all depends on who the ref is who is covering VAR. Without their help, Spurs would be nowhere near us. I mean,
true, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. Tom says the best game of football I've watched was Newcastle Spurs, May 95, 3-3. Red card for both teams pelting forward. Beardsley and Klinsmann were both outstanding that night. I remember the one where Tim Krul was literally a brick wall, Billy, down at White Hart Lane. Every shot that came on him.
Record, wasn't it, at the time? He might have saved his name.
They just couldn't. Well, we won that game, didn't we? We sneaked it 1-0, I think, didn't we?
1-0.
Remy's goal.
Do you remember the Martins one down at White Hart Lane?
Christ.
Yeah. How hard did you get that?
Listen, we've scored some crackers down there. There's been some good games with Tottenham, to be honest. And I mean, who can forget that last game of the season when we were relegated and we turned them over 5? You know, it just
that was great.
Men.
Yeah, with 10 men.
Joe Linton always loves a good game against them as well, to be fair.
He does. Kenzie says, I know he's been great, but Burn needs a rest. Scared of him against Kane and Son right now. Target, go on Eddie. Well, we'll see if he's in our teams. Great?
I think Burns had enough poor performances mixed in now for it to have been demoted from great to good. I'm not going to say great anymore. I think if we're judging his first 20 appearances, incredible. But if we're going to start factoring these last couple of months, we've got to judge it on a whole. It's not great anymore. It's just decent.
Yeah.
But again, he's out of position, to be fair. He's definitely not a left back. So
absolutely. Davey says, what's Alex and Jack's channel called? Well, Alex is called the Toon Review, Davey. Little man has got his own channel called Toon TV, as Steve has just put on the screen there.
Little man, I'm taller than Alex.
Apparently so. No, I'm 6'2", remember?
Yeah, you were a little disappointed last night. Alex was very upset to hear that because after the show, while we were talking backstage, Alex just once Alex found out that Jack was taller than, Alex just cut us off and buggered off. I
went to the gym. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
have they got a stretching machine now, Alex?
We've got a what? A stretching machine. Now we'll need that for the weekend for the offsides.
Yeah, this is true.
That's a good point. Jack is great, says Jimmy. Not a lot of 17-year-olds have their own channel.
Not 17.
He's not. How old are you, Jack?
15.
There you go.
Also, I think nowadays, most 17-year-olds have a channel. I think it's not what it used to be, Jimmy.
Well, it depends what. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure
some people a lot older than 17 have channels and are just talking to nobody out there. But you know, it's the place to be. Paul says Dele Alli was some talent at a young age. That's 100% mental focus, sadly. Well, you know, one person that was right about Dele Alli was Jose Mourinho, of course, who he tried to give him an opportunity at Tottenham. It was seen on TV for all to see, and he just didn't do it. He just did not do it. Sean says, speaking of fading talent, Andy Carroll could be playing in League One next season.
If he's not suspended.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
He had some 5 minutes last night, didn't he? He had a goal disallowed.
What did he do last night? I didn't see.
Well, he had a goal disallowed.
Yeah.
Then he scored, then he got sent off within 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
It was mad. Absolutely mad.
I think it's because he's just lost that pace completely and he can't handle it and he's just
he was sent off with deliver handball. Deliver handball, hand it into
it wasn't a oh god.
No, he sort of handled it in. The crazy Brit, his team for the weekend, Dubravka, Cher, Botman, Manquillo, Target, Bruno Longstaff, Miggy, Big Joe, Wilson, and Isak. Manquillo instead of Trent. Interesting.
It's interesting. His name seems perfect, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, why would you drop Kieran Trippier? I'd take him off set pieces if I was Eddie Howe, but and no Nick Pope either. Wow.
I don't think Trippier's going to get taken off set pieces unless we sign somebody who is provenly good at it. Like, he might rotate the odd corner taker because he's done that, but
Diaby scored for Leverkusen, by the way. They won up.
He likes a goal in Europe, does Diaby. Ronald says, I've never rated Dyer for them and done my napper in that he got in England squads. I've never been a fan of Eric Dyer. I mean, Billy, you're
He's
laughing
dire.
there. I mean, he's rotten, Billy.
If ever there was a name to suit a man, a footballer, it is it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
He's better as a midfield player. I thought he did okay as a midfield player, but as a defender, Christ,
He's better in a back
dire.
three, but him in a back four is just comical.
Alex, do you want to get your graphics ready, matey?
Yeah.
Scott says, on a side note, I've been really struggling with my mental health this week, but reaching out. If anyone is struggling, please talk. Sorry to put this on a footy cast. Hey, Scott, it's fine, mate. Reach out. There's loads of people in that chat that will reach out and talk to you, matey. That we've got a fantastic community here. So, I'm sure they'll reach out to you as well, Scott. So don't think you're alone in anything, my friend. Len Simmons, thank you very much for your $1.99 super chat. He says, "How is Coot the ref? He's bad, gentleman." I don't know, mate. Look, we have to get these referees from time to time. Unfortunately, we know Coot he's not the greatest, is he? I just hope that he doesn't get overwhelmed by the amount of complaining that Tottenham will do for the length of time that Harry Kane, etc., are on the pitch, because it's just going to spoil things. I mean, Richarlison's there as well, but he just hasn't hit. Has he scored in the league this season? I'm not sure he has.
No, I don't think he has. No.
Wow. And how much did they pay for him?
60 million.
Wow.
Same as Isak.
Holy cow. That's mental. Wow. Anyway, before we do that, before we get the graphics, somebody wants a word. Yes, she is very much looking forward to the game at the weekend. She will be tuned into Billy, as a lot of people will be, from 1:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Half an hour's build-up with team news, etc., followed by play-by-play commentary of the game from 2 o'clock at St. James's Park. Billy Bob Coleman on the commentary. Lots of cow emojis coming in again. Right, Alex, take it away.
So this is the team that Spurs fielded against Bournemouth. Although they did have Sanchez come on as well. So very exploitable, very, very exploitable. Although Skip and Højbjerg are obviously very, very decent, they had a lot of success. Bournemouth did on Pedro Porro's side on the right wing back. First goal for Bournemouth came from a high press. They got their knickers in a twist. They got everything in a twist. Porro got robbed. Romero didn't know whether he was coming or going. All the defenders all span around. It just was a complete calamity. Back of the net. They struggled. They really, really struggled with the press. The final goal as well. They got caught a little bit in transition. Ball over the top. There were 3 defenders scrambling. Nobody quite knew where they were supposed to be. And again, if anybody wants to see what we could get at them, go and watch the 3-minute highlights of Bournemouth versus Tottenham, with Bournemouth, obviously their 3 goals, because we can definitely get at them. Bournemouth were just really, really positive, really, really energetic, just trying really, really hard, and they deserved it. And if we play our pressing game, we can definitely get at this back line for sure. There will be spaces when obviously the fullbacks get caught up the pitch. We've just got to be hyper efficient. It's a shame that Maxi's injured, or we haven't really got any, I say, traditional left wingers, because Gordon's not working on the left. I'm not a big fan of Gordon on the left. Joe Linton, despite being competent, doesn't quite have that really, really electrically quick, pressy pace. That's just not his game. He can dribble and he can run, but
2-0 Sevilla.
Out there in the relegation zone as well. Oh dear.
Antonio's just equalised for West Ham as well, by the way.
However,
2-2.
on the flip side, Heung-min Son against Bournemouth ran them absolutely ragged in that first half. Kept just skinning someone, getting in behind, just a quick ball over the top. couple of little step overs just caused absolute havoc. And they created a goal that was not too dissimilar to the one Ramsey scored against us, where there was just acres and acres of space. Son found himself, he beat his man into the box. I can't remember who scored it, but the ball, do we have a ball? Yeah, let's bring a ball up. It's got to drag it all the way up to the top. And I can't remember who scored it, but it was literally just a simple drag back to about here, and then somebody just popped it in the net. And there weren't any defenders covering the central run, which is how we got caught out by Ramsey against Villa. So we do have to be careful on the counter attack. But the back three, these three, even Sanchez in there, they don't like being pressed.
Well, Longley is apparently injured, so I don't think he is.
I think I've got him on my list. I don't know why I've got him on the pitch as well. Let's swap him around. Who should we put on? Let's put on. Where is Sanchez? Let's put Sanchez there. I don't know which way round it would be because I think Sanchez seems to find himself over there quite a lot. We'll leave it like that for now. So very exploitable, but we've got to be very careful because if we get caught in a transition of sort of that of a turnover sort of here, Kane decides to release somebody. You've got Perisic and Son running at Trippier. Cher's falling over backwards over himself. Kulusevski's making a late run into the box. Kane's arriving late. Like, we've just got to be so careful. I've given Kane arms. I'm not sure how I've done that. Kane's got arms now. Okay.
Learning new things with Alex. Learning new things with Alex.
How did I do that? I don't know how I did that.
Flippers or wings.
Anyway, let's look at us. Let's look at our team. So I'm putting Miggy back on the board because he played a half. He played a full half. I would imagine with the sort of energy that this kid's got, I'd be surprised if he doesn't start. I think Gordon, based on his performances, I personally would drop him. But Eddie Howe does like to give people a run in the team. I think he was useless on the left. Not necessarily his fault. I think he's looked phenomenally better when he's been on the right. I think it's just it's one of those things. I would prefer to see Miggy start and just go for a safer lineup. I think Longstaff needs to immediately get reinstated back into the starting 11. I know for the Longstaff haters out there, I know he's not as technically proficient as a lot of other players, but it was abundantly clear that there was something wrong with that midfield balance against Villa. Is it all entirely down to Longstaff not being there? It's probably not all of it, but it's definitely part of the reason. I'd love to see Longstaff back in the lineup just for a bit of balance. This is the run in. If we think we can improve everything, let's just do it in the summer. Stop tinkering with it now. Let's do what we know works and gets us results and plays well. Let's just, stick to the model. I want to see Joe Linton and Willock back in the team on that left side, supporting each other, rotating. Longstaff offering midfield balance. Almiron back in the side. We do need to be careful with Cher and Trippier getting run at by Son and Kulusevski maybe coming over and helping with Perisic as well. I am scared about balls over the top, sort of channel balls. Just if we get caught, if Miggy gets robbed or somebody loses the ball up here, and the ball just gets played sort of into that area when we've got Trippier up there, and sometimes we have a situation where Botman will come over and help or. It's just dangerous. We've just got to be so careful with it because it is a team that can hurt us. Okay, so we've already seen. Actually, we can go back to top board, can't we? Yeah, there we go. Injuries: Lucas Moura, Bissouma, Sessegnon, Benson Court, Emerson Royale. There's 2 Longlays now, and Davies. They've got the bench. I think I've only put the 2 that I think matter at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, Spurs fans in the chat. Richarlison and Danjuma. I know Richarlison's crap this season, but. We saw what he did at the World Cup. He's not an awful player. It's just not going right. We're just got to make sure we still show him that respect and don't, we can't just not pick him up or mark him if he comes on. We've got to play it properly.
Yeah.
Stats. Where is Tottenham? There they are. So let's scroll back up to the top so we can see. So goals per match, top 5 in the league at 1.8. So boring football apparently, but. Top scorer is Harry Kane with 23 goals. I'm pretty sure Son's got 8 goals as well. So, they're scoring a lot of goals, but goals conceded 1.5 a match. So almost twice as many as we're conceding per match. And we're still in first behind Man City.
We are.
Phenomenal. And if I can zoom out slightly, there we go. Clean sheets is nice and reasonable. 8th in the league with 9 clean sheets. And we're still in second. How are Man United in first? Ew, that's disgusting. Average possession, I mentioned earlier, bang smack in the middle. They will be happy to concede possession if they feel it's necessary for the tactical plan. I would imagine we will have more than 50% of possession. I'd be really disappointed if we don't. We are at home. We are playing a slightly less transitional formation. I would expect us to dominate the ball a bit more. High shot volume, to be fair, from them. Shots on target per match. That is quite a lot for on target for 5 shots. Long balls is really, really high as well. Crosses, this is all part of them being a transitional team. They are going to try and run away really, really quickly. Penalties, 6 in the lead. They've got quite a lot of pens. We've got to be careful. We don't want to give away any of them. And if we go down to defensive statistics, not very many tackles, kind of low on clearances as well. Very low. Well, they're not a high pressing team in the sense of like final third pressing. Very low down on that. So we're not going to be too bothered about that. They've only conceded 3 penalties this season though. I feel like that's awfully low for how they play, especially their erratic defenders. I'm surprised it's not any higher.
Especially
3 red cards.
Well,
yeah. 3 red cards should have been probably double that with Kane's shenanigans this season, but it is what it is. Middle of the pack for yellow cards as well. A game we really should be winning, and I thought I'd just, why not, throw Heung-min Son in there because he's on fire at the moment. 8 goals, 4 assists. He's actually underperforming his XG as well. His XA, sorry. Scary. We've got to be careful of him because he is. Stats are actually looking pretty poor this season. Whoa. See, this is where you've got to take stats with a pinch of salt because look at Heung-min Son there. Look at that. And then he's matched with.
I mean, he hasn't had the greatest season, has he? To be fair.
No, he has been struggling. I am surprised with his take-ons and carries, though. That's awfully low for him. But then he's still profiling similarly to Rashford, Diaby, Salah, Barnes, Sterling, Dybala. Like he's a top player. So it's just one of those things.
But Salah ain't really performing this season, are they? Let's be honest.
I mean, Diaby's on the list.
No, he is.
Well, I mean,
I think it's more to show you the FBref kind of shows you who they play like, if that makes sense. It's where they spike in the profile, gives you an idea as to how they're going to play to a point.
Simon says could be a game for Maxi if he's fit. He's not fit, mate. He'll not be playing at the weekend.
No, it would be a great game for him, to be fair.
Absolutely.
Porro's,
he's good. I think, I think King Hoddle put in there before that he's been found out a bit defensively, but he's good going forward.
He is a great player, but it's very different leagues,
100% Mag says, I think we have the quality to finish in the Champions League spot, guys. And if you look at our games left to the teams around us, we have the better running. Yeah, we had a look at that the other night. It was, I think we all said just over 70 points. Hopefully we'll be where Newcastle United finish. Still a long way to go this season, though. That's the thing. There's a long way to go. King Hoddle says, if we are a counter-attacking side, if we go ahead, we are hardwired to retreat and defend deep.
Mm-hmm.
Which
is why we can't have a poor first half. Like we've been having every game recently.
Yeah, exactly. Keith says Gordon is still a work in progress. Just need to have patience. Eddie will make him a class player for us in time. Are you shocked, Jack, how much flack the Gordons took on social media? Because, to be honest, we haven't seen him play. He hasn't had a good few run of games yet. People are writing him off already. And I just think he's been a little unfortunate to get the flack that he has.
Is it? Look, there's no doubt he played really poorly against Aston Villa. And when a player plays poorly, you have to call it out. They played bad. But he's a young kid. He's still in progress. He's just come back from shite management at Everton. And it's going to take time for a class manager like Eddie Howe to get him in his system and get him working in the starting lineup. So I think the flack is... yes, he didn't perform well at Aston Villa, and that's probably why most of the flack is for. But look, he's a class player, and we will make him a class player, and he's still a work in progress. He's very young, and he will be a good player in time, for sure.
That being said, it is the business end of the season right now, and I'm happy to sacrifice a couple, 6 weeks of one player's development to make sure we qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm happy to wait till next season for Anthony Gordon, to be honest. Definitely.
It's quite obvious to me that when they play him on the left, he doesn't perform. When he play him on the right, he does. With the 2 starts he's had have both been on the left-hand side. our two worst performances of the season, in my opinion, Bournemouth away and Villa away.
Yeah, look, so I think it's time for Anthony Gordon, but Alex is right. I don't want to put him in now just to sort of develop him on the right. I want the players who are absolutely going at 110 mile an hour straight away and don't need to settle in. Arani Granny, I'm not exploiting child labour at all, and I don't have a little Chinese lad working in the kitchen. The Crazy Brit says, I have to play Gordon on the right. We've not seen enough of him in his natural position yet. Exactly.
Yeah, but Miggy's back, and he's our top goal scorer.
You know, Miggy hasn't been brilliant for a while now, so if he comes in again, it's a big game for him as well.
He was when he came back. He had a rest, scored when he got subbed back on, came on again, had a good 45-minute performance, and then he's been out again.
He went quiet for a little while, Alex. A few weeks he did.
I think he'll fancy
he came back from that.
Yeah, he did come back from that, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Perisic isn't a left back, so to speak, so he can be good at it, can't he? I mean, Alex mentioned that before. No, he's not.
I'll be amazed if Perisic plays. I think he'll play well.
Potentially.
Who's also
34.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Billy, that won't exactly fill the Spurs fans with great confidence if bringing Royale in. Oh, dear. I mean, they're all over the point. Simon says he's not set the club on fire, not cemented his place when given the opportunity. So, let him grow in the background. Which Eddie will. He'll have a good look at him in pre-season as well. Newcastle have to bounce back in this one, says Ulf. Isak is your man. Is that because you're Swedish, Ulf? He's got to be with a name like Ulf.
Although, to be fair, based on those central defenders' uncertainty with the ball and lack of sort of technical quality, being a little bit uneasy with the ball, Isak is the perfect man. If he gets that ball fired into him, pinged into him, it's not about physicality. We've seen what he's like when he wants it. 3 players are on him, and somehow the ball just pops out, and Isak still got it. I don't know how he does that. It's freakish.
Yep. King Hoddle says, if you start with the usual degree of pace, energy, and intensity, this could effectively be all over by half time. Yeah, I get the feeling King Hoddle is not confident about Sunday's game.
No, he's not, is it?
No.
He's downplaying it a bit.
Oh. Toxic fans at Neverton. We've got to go there and win. That is just I will be doing my nut on commentary if we don't get a win in that game. How about playing Willock on the wing and Joey inside purely for Willock's pace against Spurs' defence?
It's pretty much what we do anyway. Just rotates.
The alternator now,
yeah. Kenzie says, Son is like a ninja for Spurs. Oops, wrong culture. This is your fault, Paul. We're not getting into that again.
I'm sure what Korean warriors are called.
Well, he's definitely not a ninja. Isak's got superb ball control. He has, Dave. Ulf says, no, I'm Norwegian. Haaland and Ødegaard is my players, but Isak has quality.
Ødegaard.
Well, don't Norway look after Holland and such like in the Eurovision Song Contest? I mean, well, it's true, isn't it? They all look after each other in the votings.
Oh.
I'm a fan. I love Eurovision, me. I just think it's a good laugh.
Yeah, no, I like it. It still got ripped off last year.
Well, honest. Yeah, we did, but
I'm not being disrespectful to Ukraine, but
Brexit is Brexit.
Sam Ryder was, Sam Ryder was brilliant.
He was, but we have technically won because it's in this.
Well, they're coming to the UK this year. They're coming to the UK.
So isn't it in Liverpool?
Yeah.
How did that win the vote?
Because it's the city of the greatest band that ever lived.
He does have a point out. Well, actually, Las Vegas is where Killers are from, so Nevada, baby. Anyway, just an opinion, guys. I mean, I don't know how we've got talking about the frigging Eurovision, but I just love it. I love Graham Norton's commentary on it. I think he's
came up with it.
Yeah, well, I know. I think Graham Norton is just so sarcastic on it. It's hilarious. It's great.
He stepped into Toe Rogan's shoes seamlessly, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Wogan was brilliant at it. Just all the sarcastic jokes, and Norton's took it over brilliantly. You know, we should do a live watch along for the Eurovision. That would be fun.
I ain't watching that shite.
How dare you, Billy?
How are you going to commentate on the songs?
This one's shit. 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 Go on, Britain. This one's shit. This one's shit.
Britain's got no points yet again.
Yeah, Britain will have nil points this year. I'm pretty sure of it. Spike, thank you for your £10 super chat again, buddy. He says, we just need to press them from the start, just as we did against Man United. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Tom, can't stand Eurovision utter shite. You are fired from a mod's position. Absolutely shocking thing to say. We're actually, funny enough, there is a lot of Eurovision fans in the chat, and a few are requesting a Eurovision watch along.
I'd do it, but I like having
get how you could do it.
Parties and the drinking.
I don't get like what would you do? Like a Eurovision watch along? Like what would you do?
Jack, it's because when you get to a certain age, people drink and then it becomes more interesting. It's not that it's interesting from the beginning, because we agree it's not. There is something that assists it being funny.
And let's face it, we could listen to the songs because they're original songs. They're not copyrighted, so you could listen to them and we could talk about them as they're getting played. I mean, listen, Lordy, Hard Rock Hallelujah, that is a song that will never be beaten, in my opinion, right? Just if you haven't heard it, go and search for Lordy, Lordi, Hard Rock Hallelujah. It is tremendous. I remember them coming on stage. They were dressed like, I don't know, these troll things. I don't know what they were, but it was. I don't know, Alex, you know? NUFC Ollie says he's unsubbing if we do a Eurovision watch along. Well, we're getting a lot of fans who want one, so I'll have to have a think about that.
You don't have to watch it, like.
No, we can have a laugh in the chat. You can have a laugh, and we can do a lot of things for Eurovision. Randy says, yes, Paul, Lordy are crazy. Thank you. At least somebody knows who they are. Tom says, I'll concede Hard Rock Hallelujah was funny. There you go. Well, he said funny. It was actually class. But there you go. Right. We'll do team predictions now. And Billy Bob, we'll start with you. Who's your 11 for the Sunday's game against Tottenham?
Pope in goal, Trippier at right back, Botman and Share in the centre, Matt Target left back, Bruno, Longstaff and Willock, Joe Linton on the left, Mig on the right, and he's up front.
Jack?
I'll go Nick Pope in goal, Fabian Share, Botman centre backs, Trippier right back, Matt Target left back. I'll go Willock, Bruno, and Longstaff in midfield. Joe Linton on the left, Isak up top, and Miggy on the right.
So basically, all you could have done is same as Billy, and you wouldn't have had to name out that.
Paul. We've got to think about minutes here. We've got to think about minutes.
I don't think about minutes at all.
Makes it life should go longer.
Jack.
I can talk for longer than an hour and a half. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we don't need another talker. Trust me, Jack. We don't. Anyway, Alex, have we seen your team? Was that your team up on the screen?
What was my team on the screen? My team, I popped Miggy and Longstaff back in the team. Yeah, that was what I would like to see. So
you think Dan Burn will still be in at left back?
I would prefer Target, but again, I think the threat of Kulusevski, I'm pretty sure he's quite a big lad as well. I think he's like 6'1" or something. Let me just check Kulusevski. I think he's he's 6'1", 22 years old, energetic.
So he's taller than you, Alex.
I would have thought that I would have thought that for this game, before I remembered it was Spurs, I was like, right, this is Target in straight away. But then when you consider the fact it's Kulusevski, 6'1", I'm not sure. I'm now 50-50. When I'm 50-50, I think Howard's just going to stick with Burn.
Yeah. Are they really going to be sending crosses to Kulusevski? I wouldn't have thought so.
I think he's going to be the one that's going to potentially receive the ball if Son's going to get a breakaway. If it's going to be Son Perisic on the left, Kulusevski might be back post. Potentially.
Interesting. Well, I'm going with the same as Billy and Jack. I think Target will start this game.
What were the different? You guys think Target's going to start, do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all the same, bar the Burn
bar the left
Target
back. Yeah,
change.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Miggy He came on for a bit at Villa. He's had another week's training. I think he'll start. I think
So we all think Gordon's gone for this game.
But to be honest, Miggy deserves his start, doesn't he? It's not like, you can say, oh, well, he's just come back from injury.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve to be in the side.
Miggy
does from the season he's had. Exactly. He's got to be in the side. If he can combine with Longstaff, Bruno, etc., like he's been doing throughout the season, then, it could gel. And that's what we need to see. Miggy's going to be fresh. He hasn't played for a couple of weeks. He's got a good few weeks training in him. Let's go again.
It's also nice to have another left footer on the pitch, because when he's not there,
obviously
no attackers that are left footed.
There may be not a lot of crosses coming from Miggy, but that means that Trippier's going to have to put better crosses into the box. There's no doubt about it. Rachel says, if you do a Eurovision watch along, I'll be mostly drunk. It's the only way to get through it. Anthony says Eurovision sucks mahusively. Yes, but it wouldn't suck if we did a watch along. That's the thing. Reese said, give that wolf a banana was funny last year. It was. Mary says, you do realise it's making me want to travel more to Newcastle now. Well, just do it. Andrew says, you'll get more subscribers if you did a Eurovision watch along, exposing yourself to a whole new range of Newcastle fans.
I'm not exposing myself to anybody.
I was just going to say that. You beat me to it. Bastard.
Didn't do Phoenix Window. Doesn't count.
Well, I didn't do it in Phoenix Window. I didn't do it on camera. A lot of people were disappointed they did not see my ass, which, as it is a magnificent ass, as Susan will say, but I ain't exposing nothing. I don't know what you mean by that, Andrew. In fact, I do actually know what you mean, but I'm not saying it on camera. Vincent says Eurovision's brilliant. Many talented musicians have been on it over the years. Engelbert Humperdinck was just fucking tremendous.
There's ones as well.
Yeah. Is Longstaff defo fit, says Kendo? Yes, he's been training all week. Just imagine
he was injured, was he? I think he was just
knackered.
Really tired.
Yeah. Ashley 80 says, just imagine Paul's comments about the outfits. Well, listen, I know I'm a.
He's probably got some of them.
I know.
Oh,
I'm well known for my quality fishing. By the way, guys, big thank you to Alex for being part of the channel for a while now, but unfortunately, you won't see his ugly mug anymore.
That's a red card.
Mag says, it was a hard rock. It was a great song, but I thought Dark Side by Blind Channel was better. You're getting far too into that now. Far too interested in. Would-be Farmer says, who doubles over with a hernia if Burns and Wilson start?
I mean, Wilson's been better recently. It's not the end of the world, but the way Isak's playing, you can't bench a lad that's playing that well.
Exactly. He's got to. Rachel says, Paul and Billy on it singing I'm Too Sexy.
I'm not sure you can do cover versions, can you?
You can't. No, you have to. It has to be an original song, which is why I think if we play them, if we did it, I'm sure there's other YouTube channels. In fact, I'm gonna do some research after this show to see if people have done. Don't laugh, Billy. Have done Eurovision watch-alongs in the past because I think it would be one hell of a good laugh. Ab says Paul would have to do an accent for each Eurovision nation. What could go wrong? Colton says, lol, Alex is smaller than Taz. Who's Taz?
Tasmanian Devil. Taz.
Wasn't there a wrestler called Taz? I don't know. Kenzie says Eurovision is Saturday, the 13th of May. Same day we have Leeds away in the early kickoff, just so you know. Well, there you go. Day. So we could do the watch along, have a couple hours break, and back on it for the. We could combine a Eurovision watch along with a review. It would be tremendous. What?
I've done some research for you, and some people do a Eurovision watch along.
There you go.
Yeah, but did they play the songs? Did they play the songs?
No, it was just this ginger kid on the sofa.
Now, three black and white always going that bad, are they?
Billy!
Oh dear. Surely they pre-copyright those songs like before.
They don't.
I think they get released.
They don't.
No?
I don't know where the hell my voice went there, by the way. What's going on with that?
They release them on record, Paul, so they must do.
Well, eventually they do, but actually on the night when they're not heard of, they can't copyright something that's never been heard of. I mean,
because we hear the songs leading up to the Eurovision. I'm pretty sure it's got. Well, we can check. We'll do.
I am doing it. End of story. The only thing is, if I do it, and I get copyright, I just don't get monetized for that show. I ain't bothered. It's all about the glory of Eurovision.
It'd be pretty boring though if we can't. We'll just have us bobbing.
It's not about the money. It's about the beauty of Eurovision and bringing all these countries together. Because it's something I feel passionate about. If we can't bringing all these countries together instead of starting wars.
But if we can't play audio in the background, it's just going to be us bobbing a little bit with no silence.
If we can't hear the songs, it'd be shit, wouldn't it? Well, actually, it might be better, actually.
Well, they don't get too many views, Paul. Sorry to break. They don't get too many views. I mean, the one with the ginger kid's got about 188 views.
That definitely is the one.
Yeah, but how many subscribers has he got? Billy, how many subscribers has he got, Jack?
His name's Ed Start, and he's got 188 subscribers.
Well, there you go. That's probably why his views aren't very good. We were
just football watch-alongs.
Well, yeah, but we were a bigger channel, so we'll get the viewers. Look, loads of people want to do it. King Hoddle says, not sure we can actually pick Sanchez. He was taken off distraught after our fans were booing his every touch. And he was only on as a sub for Longley. Apart from Tanganga, there's nobody else left.
Yeah, I did see in the highlights he was really, really bad. Like just in 3-minute highlight. It was, oh God, yeah. Not in a good place right now, some of your players.
The first one was just allowed for VAR, but they have scored second now.
So Man United
the look on the Man United fans' face is so happy, it's so enjoyable. I just love it.
Yes, you've seen Sevilla now for home. You've seen Sevilla for home. Yeah, there you go. Secret Carper says Eurovision is like a turd. You polish a turd, but it's still a turd. Can't stand it. But if you done a watch along, I might watch it. So I am now the northeast.
Eurovision correspondent.
Why not? Yes, those are the words I was looking for.
Do you know what you should do, Paul? Get a load of brown ale in. We can all have a good drink while we watch it.
I will not be drinking brown ale on camera.
You know what? I've tried some brown ale.
You've done it before.
I've tried some brown ale recently, and I don't mind it. It's not too bad.
There you go.
Jack, did you not say not more than 10 minutes ago that you were 15?
It's fine. He had it at home with his parents, with approval, with a family meal.
It's not legal. That's France, Alex. That's not in England.
You can have a drink with a meal if you're below 18. Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, you can.
Guys, I think you need to check that because I think you're wrong. But I don't care.
I'll just cover the brown ale logo and just say it's juice.
So,
you're now on camera, so that won't work.
Absolutely. David says Paul's reaction when Ireland give us nil point again will be worth seeing. I do get myself annoyed when the results come in, I have to say. So, yeah, I do. It really annoys me when I see like the likes, certainly the Eastern European countries all voting for each other. Like they actually hate each other in real life, but just because it's Eurovision, let's vote for each other. You know, it could be the worst song in the world. Anyway, we are. The
worst bit is fucking Australia in it. How the fuck are they getting it?
Yeah. Mr. Spoons, thank you for your $1.99 super chat. He says Alex should sing "Hi Ho" by the Seven. Has Alex actually taken any notice of that?
No, I was reading the alcohol laws. Actually, I think he's fine. Technically.
Oh, for God's sake, can you be any more boring? I'm reading the alcohol laws. I mean, you know,
Ian's just spent money on
you
that
are
joke.
such a stato. Yeah, well, I'll put it up again, Alex, just for you because he did spend $1.99 on a super chat for it.
Alex should sing. Oh God. No, Ian. Sorry, bud.
Yeah. David says, shut up. Don't start them off, Jack. A Eurovision sweepstake on the channel with a winner getting the signed Shelby shirt. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. P. Keith says, I was drinking brown ale in a bus shelter when I was 15. It did me no harm at all. Oh, God. Right. Let's get on to the... who the hell is Arnold Rimmer?
The dwarf.
Oh, because Magpie's saying, is Alex the Arnold Rimmer of the Toon Review? See, I didn't know whether that was some kind of porn star, Billy, and I wasn't really supposed to put it on the screen. You know.
Well, he's got a porn star name for certain, but no, he was Chris Barry, the hologram in Red Dwarf.
Billy, can I just ask how you know that is a porn star name? Or dare I ask, actually?
Well, it's more the surname, to be honest. It's not.
Yes, let's move on. Right, Jack. Shut up. Let's move on. Score prediction, Jack.
I'm definitely not predicting 3-1 again because every time I predict 3-1, we always lose. So I'm definitely not predicting 3-1 ever again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. It's hard because Harry Kane likes a goal against Newcastle. Obviously, he scored. He scored October and then he scored.
I mean, mate, he scored 23, so he likes a goal against quite a lot of teams in the league. To be fair,
he does. It does always tend to score against us. So I'm gonna go 2-0. And I'm going to go Isak with a brace.
Isak with a brace. That would be good. Ab said you could have fans coming on like TTR Friday and giving their scores for each nation. Then have a TTR Eurovision winner. Hey, this is getting better. I mean, Jesus. Anyway, Billy, your score prediction.
I think that Norway will win. Sweden second. Estonia third, Lithuania fourth, Latvia fifth, United Kingdom will be second bottom, just above Upper Dubrovia. Oh, the football. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to say it's going to be a very tight game. I think what we'll see is we'll see Harry Kane drop into a false nine position, and he'll be the fulcrum of everything they do. But I think we'll beat them 2-1.
2-1, and your scorers?
I'm going to say Isak will definitely score, and I think Miggy will get one as well.
Okay, interesting. King Hoddle's going 2-0 or 3-1 to Newcastle. It pains me to say it. I mean, he is really confident of a Spurs win. Magpie says, Paul is Lister, Alex is Rimmer, Billy is the cat, and that makes Jack Crichton. I haven't got a clue who these characters are because I've never seen Red Dwarf.
Dwayne Dibley! Hey, that's a chance for me to put the teeth in.
Oh, God.
The cat he had an alter ego called Dwayne Dibley who wore teeth.
And what accent did he have, Billy?
Well, it's American, but overall.
You kidding? Have you seen Crichton? Wait. What? How do you spell Crichton again?
We're not getting into it, Jack.
K-R-Y-T.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen? Oh my God, that is disrespectful. That.
He's a robot.
The head shape. Oh, it's got a head shape like a hexagon.
Right, which means you need a haircut, Jack. Alex.
Get him on Sunday.
I'm going to go 2-1.
No, hang on. Jack, you need to go to a barber shop, not your mum, with a pasta ball around your head.
I do.
Okay, well, tell him you need something different. You're on camera now. You need a decent haircut.
Hold on. Why am I getting advice by a bowl guy? What's going on?
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Yeah, brave.
You little twat, behave. Right, come on then, Alex.
Oh dear, that was funny. I'm going to go 2-1, and I'm going to steal Billy's goal scorers because I think I really like that shout. I was going to go Isak anyway, and then he's reminded me that Miggy exists, and yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think Miggy and Isak. I also think Kane's going to get one because he's a knob.
We've seen Ash's comment, Paul. Seen Ash's comment.
Yes, I've seen Ash's comment. Saying that my last haircut was in 1945. Thank you, Ash. A lot of guns are appearing on the, not in a bad way, if any politicians watching, with the word fired next to it for you, Jack.
I mean, the last time I went to the barber this is how long ago it was. I asked for highlights, and the barber gave me a video of old haircuts.
Bloody hell. Jimmy says, stay away from the brown ale, Jack. It's a gateway to big women and bad decisions. Brilliant. Right, well, I'm going 4-2 on Sunday.
4-2.
4-2. I think there's going to be a lot of goals, but I think we will prevail by 4-2. I think it's going to be a cracking game of football. I think, both teams will be going for it, which will make it even more entertaining. Both teams have to win the game, and I think it'll be tremendous. My goal scorers, I think Isak will get 2. I do fancy Miggy to get 1, and Sven Botman.
West Ham are 2-1,
right.
by the way.
Sorry?
West Ham are 2-1 up now.
Cool.
Botman.
Sven Botman is due a goal. He's due a decent performance as well.
He's been due a goal since Christmas Day.
Well, yes,
Paul.
I think his form
We're nearly in May.
Look, his form has dipped slightly, ever so slightly, but I think he'll be back to his full beast-like self.
I don't want him to score. I just want him to do his job in defence, and then we're all
obviously take care of that first, and then go and score.
I think we're all disregarding Wilson. Wilson's been banging him in recently, obviously, apart from the Villa game. He's actually not been doing too bad. Isak's been playing the pressing game, and Wilson's just been kind of, doing his thing.
Reece is actually predicting that Nick Pope will score. You heard it here first.
None of us think didn't he? He lost a goal against Spurs, well, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. I'm surprised that none of us have suggested him.
Magpie saying, sadly, I think too much pressure too soon for our lads. He predicts 3-1 to Spurs.
But he always predicts negative things, don't you, Magpie?
Well, I think Magpie predicts that just so we go out and win. Because
if we went with Magpie's predictions every game this season, we would be in about 11th in the league. So it's fair. You don't want to get your hopes up, but you got to believe sometimes.
Clearly, Rachel is a fan of Sven Botman's backside. So there you go. There you go, guys. That is it for the match preview. Hopefully, and praying to God that when we come to do the actual match review, which might actually be Sunday night, because it's a 2:00 kickoff, so we might get it done Sunday. If not, it'll be Monday. However, hopefully we'll be celebrating 3 points. We need to get them. We need to get back to winning ways. I think it's going to be a tremendous game. But again, it's just how we turn out, how we start the game, how we go at it. But I just hope that Eddie sends them out with fully fire in their bellies, although they shouldn't need Eddie to give them that after the performance at Villa. They should already have that in the bellies, ready to put that right. But thank you very much to all the new members and super chatters tonight. Thank you for your kindness once again. King Hoddle, thank you for being a fantastic opposition fan in the chat there tonight. I really appreciate that, buddy. And thank you to, you three, Alex, Billy, Billy Halfershaw, and Jack with the funny haircut. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow night. There will be a video coming out tomorrow, of course, discussing what Eddie House had to say.
Did you just say get a hairline?
Get a hair. He did tell me to get. I have a hairline. It's right there. Not where it used to be, granted, but shut up, you little twerp. So we will be back tomorrow night. We will have, obviously, the watch along with Billy on Sunday. That starts at 1:30. Billy will give you a full team news and build up to that game, followed by play-by-play commentary of the match from 2:00. So really looking forward to that. Keep an eye on the channel for when the match review is. But whatever you do, guys, don't forget to catch us tomorrow night. Join in with the quiz, etc. And then it's into the weekend we go. But thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to the mods as well. Fantastic work again, and we'll see you very soon. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?
How are the lads?